So
crap.
you hear the brr brr is the sound it makes in the UK. Yeah, brr brr like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm going, shit. On in one in on one hand, I'm thinking, you know, please don't answer. Other hand, I'm going, oh God, you know, if he answers, what will happen? And it rings and rings, and eventually he answers. Now,
Oh my
I'd heard
God.
his voice previously um, from what's it called? A video Mama showed me once, and I'm like, oh no, he's answered. And it's like, so I'm there. I'm literally standing there shaking. I'm like, God, probably not that bad, but it's like that. And I start off with a simple, Tony. I'm really, you know, firm with him. We need to talk. And he says, that's Will, isn't it? And it eventually, and I'm thinking, yes, it is. But how the hell do they know my voice? And it eventually ends up at the end of the conversation that he tells me he knows my voice because he's been following me on YouTube. Wow. And so I say to him, I'm very calm and collected initially, and I say, we need to talk. No, sorry, we need to meet. And he's like,
Wow.
okay, do you want to, do you want to meet chat or? And I'm thinking, I'm thinking, you're asking me why I want to meet you. You're asking me, it, I don't want to meet you for a coffee, mate. I want to meet you. And I actually said, I lost control, Aaron.
Yeah.
I am all right.
Yeah.
I am all right to curse and stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is. Yeah. You can say whatever you want. Yeah. Hmm.
So from me going, we need to talk. It ends up with me going, I want to talk to discuss the shit that you've put me through, you fucking bastard. And and there he is going, okay, calm down and that, you know, don't don't shout and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, and I can't remember how the whole conversation actually went, but I can tell you it was pretty much half an hour of us going round and round in circles. He was totally unwilling to admit guilt. Again, just like the email, apportioning blame onto anyone else that he could, anyone. Making up things like, "Oh, your mum couldn't be bothered to turn up to the criminal trial," and
Oh my
it's
God.
like
This
it's not
guy.
his.
I gotta tell you. This guy sounds like a real low life is what this guy sounds like. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I'm not. I'm got like, you at home. Okay, I'm not here to judge people, but this guy sounds just like a horrific individual. I
Oh
am
yeah.
I'm really scared of the fact that someone like this became a police officer in the UK. That
Mm.
that that is really the scariest part of all of it. Um, wow. I mean, this is just unbelievable. I mean, this is a really dangerous, incredibly psychopathic individual. I guess. How did you? So what ends up happening? How did you even manage this? I mean, because this type of people like this just belong in prison, in my opinion. So I mean, how did you deal with this in the end? Whatever ended up happening?
Well, I was. I mean, I guess towards the middle of the conversation, I was sort of stuck for things to say, and my mom actually came in at one point because she heard me yelling at him, and I did that quite a few. Pretty much a lot of the conversation was me yelling. So she did, she came in. I put him on speaker, and then she's sort of whispering things to me, telling him what to say. And in the end, it ends up with me saying, "Well, we're going round and round and round in circles here, Tony. You're unwilling to admit guilt. You're unwilling to admit anything." And it ended up with me saying, "Well, you know what? I don't want to. I don't want to meet you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to speak to you again. Fuck off." And
Right.
And I will just say at the start of the conversation, because I was going back to college the next day and wouldn't be back for over a month. So I said to him, right, do you want to meet on the 26th of October? And immediately he goes, I might be working that day. And it's like,
well, isn't that a good excuse? I could have come up with that myself. What a good excuse that is. Gee,
it's like
really,
you've not even
and it
checked
really
your diary.
and it really, and it really, you can tell that it really takes a lot of intelligence to think, oh, I gotta work. Oh, geez, that's a real sweat job there. Really sweated that one out. What a low life. Oh my God. Oh my.
Yeah. Now it pretty much ends up with, like I say, me saying, well, fuck off. I don't want to see you again. I don't want to speak to you again. Have a nice life. And he was like, oh yeah, you've got my phone number. If you
Oh
wanna
my God. Come
call
on.
me and
Come
stuff like that.
on.
Yes, I
Come
have got.
on. Really?
Yes, I
Really?
have got your fucking phone number, mate.
Oh God. These people. This is society, guys. Society. Some parents produce children like Tony. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with some of these people, but oh my God. Okay, so yeah. So
So
what did
yeah.
you? So well, anyway.
Well,
So after you looked at your diary on the 26th of October, what did you choose to do on the 26th of October?
well, I mean, the plan. What I
Yeah.
mean, that was when I was back for half term. The plan would have been to meet him, perhaps with my stepdad or a friend of mine, or a family friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Present. Just,
Mm-hmm.
just so that he can see with his own eyes what he's put me through. And would he really deny it then? I don't know. But obviously, he's like, oh no, I'm working then. So yeah. But that was the final contact I had with him, pretty much. And for about 2 or 3 months afterwards, my mental health spiraled downhill so much. Because, and I still think about it to this day, and I'm not in as, awful a position as I was, because last year I was, in the last year I was in a terrible state mentally. And, you know, I went back to college, and I would literally spend my evenings binge eating. I would literally binge eat takeouts all the time, or order takeouts every night and just eat. No wonder I'm fat. And and I do things that could be classed as attention seeking. Like, now I will just state here, I would never, and I did never, turn to anything like drugs, alcohol, or self-harm. I would never do that. But I did do things, which would still be classed as attention seeking. Like, I tried to set up a a Just Giving page online, fundraising for a potential cure for my site. I contacted different specialists, to see if there was anything they could do. I was so desperate to get a cure for my site. I was just in a really bad place mentally. I'd get myself signed off from lectures, not all the time, but some of the time, and I would just I just felt so awful.
Right. Right. Very tragic. None of this is uncommon.
Mm. No, and as I say, I mean, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm stuck for words here, but that's kind of all really. Like, I was in a bad place, and that's all. I'd spend my evenings binge eating. I did things like contacting those specialists to try and regain my, try and see if there was a chance of regaining my sight. It was just awful. My friends at college, bless them, they really bared the brunt of my outbursts. They really did, because I had a couple of outbursts at college as well. One which actually involved me throwing a box at my friend, which they weren't expecting, and I wasn't obviously expecting to do it either. But pretty much I just picked up I got myself into such a state, and I just picked up the first thing that that I found and just chucked it at him. And luckily, we are still friends to this day, and luckily he did understand. But bless him. They my college friends and stuff. They have bear the brunt of my outburst, and that's pretty much it, really. To be honest, it's, as I say, I'm not in the same position now. I'm a lot calmer. I feel a lot better mentally. I can never forgive and forget. I don't think any of us can. I don't intend to contact Tony again. But I will say, actually, that me and my mum are actually writing a book about him and about how it's affected us.
I'm so glad you're writing a book. All of my guests so far have been writing books and wanting to publish books. And I said this on my last episode or a couple episodes before. I'm going to say it right now. I hope that you are my first guest who comes here to Aaron's Opinion and reads a portion of your book and presents your book to the world right here on this podcast. Because
Oh, yes.
I would love to help you tell your story, and I would love to help you to make sure that your book is published. And off the air, I can give you some recommendations or some opinions where you might of people that you might want to contact who maybe specialize in publishing material for people who are blind or would be familiar with dealing with someone who's blind who is also an author. So I'm really determined to make sure that this project is a success and that your book gets published because it's so critical.
Thank you very much.
So critical for society, and you would feel so proud. You would feel so proud of yourself if you did it, and quite frankly, I would feel really proud and happy to know that my podcast helped someone in another country tell a story that needed to be told. So that's really valuable. Um, but you should definitely write a book about that. Has your mother retired from the police force?
She's retiring in about 7 months, and she's looking forward to it very much.
Good, because then she can write whatever she wants to write, without having.
Well,
yeah,
we actually have. Well, I mean, the book is nowhere near finished. I mean, what the way it's being laid out is she's pretty much writing her experiences. So, because she was there for the aftermath of the incident, and I am writing my experiences of living with sight loss, and I will send you a copy of it. I'll send you a copy of my point of view. My point of view is finished. Mum's hasn't. But yeah, definitely. If you can be of any assistance in terms of directing me to certain contacts, then that would be fantastic.
Well, it's not so much a contact. It's someone that I know. It is a organization and a particular person that I know of. Very, very, very famous person in the podcast and radio world. He's now I don't want to name drop, and I don't want to make a big deal of it right now. Do you know who I'm talking about if I say the blind guy from New Zealand who has the famous radio station? Because he also, do you listen to podcasts like constantly?
No.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. I'll show you later. But so this guy he has a business, and he does many things. One of them is he runs a publishing company, and I think that a book that's written by a blind person about their experiences in life, especially by being abused and needing the world to know this information. I mean, I don't know. That sounds like something that this particular person would want to have published, and he would work on creating an audio file for it. He would work supposedly, or not supposedly, I shouldn't say it that way, but I mean I've never actually done this, but he does a lot to help people all over the world, and it's someone who and I'm saying it because it's someone who I want to talk to. He's kind of shy, I guess. He's one of these people that's kind of shy. I think he suspects. I just kind of have the feeling that with certain podcasts, there's always silent listeners, and I suspect that he is, or their company is aware of this show. They probably are, because I participated in one of their live shows and I tweeted at them. So I think at some level some of them know of the show, and whether they've listened, who knows. But it's so important to get books